Hey guys, how's it going? Ricky here from Most Valuable Podcast, here to give you my must-sits for week number 6 here in fantasy football. If you're new to my fantasy football videos, this is the video where these are the 5 guys that you'll see. If they're on your team, probably should have them on the bench this week if you want to have the most optimal lineup to win games for week number 6. And I'm going to get right into it. Number 5 is Jaylen Strong. And the reason why I put him on this list is because I had to tell you guys, MVP Nation, you guys who watch these videos, don't fall into the trap that many are going to fall into this week. A lot of people are going to see, ooh, Jaylen Strong, double-digit points. They're going up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to give up some touchdowns. I'm going to get that. Jaylen Strong, yes, he scored 2 touchdowns last week, but it was on 2 receptions. So the only 2 receptions he had were his touchdowns. I see that and I go, okay, I'm not going to buy in on a guy that had, he had 2 touchdowns, but he had 2 receptions. It's really hit or miss. So if you're a guy, you like to roll the dice, this is a game I'm not rolling the dice on. I will sit him on my bench if you have him on your team. If you don't even pick him up because he's not going to have a big game this week against the Jaguars. And number 4, though, Jimmy Graham going up against the Carolina defense. Carolina stifling against tight ends. Jimmy Graham's also been a less than stellar tight end since going over to the Seattle Seahawks. This is a week where just treat it like a bye because he's going up against the Panthers, and I think the Seahawks are in for a rough day. That's going to be a really good game to watch, but if you're a fantasy owner of the Seahawks, it could be a bad day for you. Then at number 3, I kind of was iffy about putting him on this list, but Randall Cobb. And you may be saying, but Ricky, Randall Cobb is like the go-to guy. He's the go-to guy in Green Bay. How am I sitting him? Well, last week, wasn't a great week for him going up against the Rams. You have the Packers playing the Chargers this week, and I don't know. I'm not feeling Randall Cobb this week. I'm more of a James Jones guy. It looks like James Jones is getting more of the favoritism of Aaron Rodgers. And Randall Cobb, this is just a down, I feel like it's just going to be a down week. Last week was down. The Chargers are going to keep him down. Hey, James Jones may even have a down week. And I have James Jones. So that's one of the questions I am facing, and that's why Randall Cobb is on this list. Number 2, though, and this is kind of a two-headed number 2, but I'm going to give you one picture over here to look at, and it's Chris Johnson. But you can also throw Andre Ellington into this mix, and that's because the Cardinals are going up against the Steelers. Steelers are usually really good against the run. Look at what they did to Melvin Gordon, but hey, look at how many touchdowns they let Antonio Gates get in his first game of the season. I'm sticking away from these guys. Yeah, they played the Lions. They had a good game, but it was the Lions. Steelers are a different story. I'd sit both of these guys, Chris Johnson and Andre Ellington, if you have them for this week. And at number 1, this may be a shocker to a lot of you just because of the big name he is. Russell Wilson hasn't been doing amazingly this year for fantasy quarterbacks on that concern. Going up against Carolina, I would sit Russell Wilson this week. Don't think he's going to have a ton of points. Will he have a double-digit game? Yes, but honestly, I'm seeing like an 11, 12-point game from Russell Wilson, especially what I've seen from the Seahawks this season. So yeah, Russell Wilson, the surprise guy here, is a must-sit for week 6 in fantasy football. Well, that's going to do it for my must-sits for week number 6 fantasy football. Go ahead, as always, hit me up in the comment section. Is there anyone that would be on this list if it was to 10 players? What other players are you like, Ricky? You got to sit this guy. MVP Nation, you got to sit this guy. Go ahead, tell us down below in the comment section. You can also hit me up on Twitter at Ricky Widmer. I love answering your fantasy questions. Hey, Ricky, who should I start between these 2 guys? I'd love to give you my input the best I can to help you win this week and hopefully win your fantasy football league as well. You can also hit us up on Twitter for Most Valuable Podcast at Most Valuable Pod. Hit that like button, that sub button as always. Thank you for checking out this video. But most importantly, have a good day, everybody.
Hey guys, like the video? Then hit that subscribe button. But if you liked it even more, you should check out our Patreon page. We have a lot of different rewards and goals for those of you who would love to support us. So make sure to click that link down in the description to check out those pretty kick-ass rewards.